Massive news in the world of finance today. JP Morgan, one of the largest banks in the world, just moved $50 billion using Ripple's XRP technology. This isn't just a small transaction, it's part of a much larger shift in how global financial institutions are approaching cross-border payments. And yes, you heard that right. Banks are starting to dump SWIFT in favor of Ripple, and the Federal Reserve is watching closely. But why is this happening, and what does it mean for the future of global finance? Stick around, because today we're going to break it all down and explain why XRP is on the verge of reshaping the financial world. JP Morgan's massive $50 billion transaction using Ripple's XRP technology has sent shockwaves through the financial world. This isn't just a one-off. In fact, Ripple's technology is quickly becoming the preferred method for handling cross-border transactions, especially among major financial institutions. But what's driving this change? The simple answer is cost and efficiency. Ripple's XRP is now seen as a viable alternative to traditional payment networks. Unlike SWIFT, which has been the global standard for decades, XRP can settle transactions in mere seconds without the need for intermediaries. For a transaction the size of $50 billion, those seconds matter a lot. For decades, SWIFT has been the backbone of international banking transactions, but there's a growing realization that SWIFT's infrastructure is outdated, slow, and expensive. In contrast, Ripple's XRP network offers a much faster and cheaper alternative. While SWIFT's payments can take several days to clear, XRP transactions are settled in just a few seconds, allowing banks to save huge amounts of time and money on each transaction. Banks are not only looking for a more efficient way to move money, they are looking for a way to cut costs. Cost is a huge factor. Traditional cross-border payments are burdened by several intermediaries, each adding their own fees. Ripple, however, eliminates these intermediaries, allowing for cost reductions that can be passed along to consumers and businesses alike. This is why financial institutions like JP Morgan, which are always looking for ways to improve their bottom line, are making the switch. Music. In 2023, SWIFT ran a pilot program using Ripple's technology to explore the potential of central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. This was a significant development, as it marks the first time that SWIFT, the longtime industry leader, has looked beyond its traditional system and experimented with Ripple's blockchain music technology, with CBDCs becoming increasingly popular, especially in nations like China. This pilot program could be the beginning of a broader shift toward blockchain-powered payment systems. Central banks worldwide are starting to realize that Ripple's technology can offer a seamless, secure, and efficient way to issue and manage digital currencies. Ripple's role in the world of CBDCs is becoming more and more important. If governments start to embrace XRP as part of their digital currency strategies, we could see a monumental shift in how the entire global financial system operates. Ripple's ability to facilitate fast, cheap, and secure currencies. Banks are under pressure to cut costs, especially when it comes to cross-border payments. The traditional payment corridors are full of fees, delays, and complexities. Every time a bank needs to send money across borders, it's forced to pay fees to intermediaries, causing the cost to add up quickly. But with Ripple's XRP, banks can bypass many of these intermediaries and send payments directly and instantly. This drastic reduction in fees has led many banks to take a closer look at XRP and consider it as the go-to option for global payments. These savings don't just benefit the banks, they also benefit consumers and businesses who rely on fast, cost-effective international payments. In an increasingly globalized world, the demand for such solutions is growing, and XRP is perfectly positioned to meet that demand. One of the most interesting developments in the world of finance is the potential for XRP to become the bridge asset for central banks, particularly in the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These countries are increasingly looking to move away from the US dollar in international trade and are exploring the use of digital assets to facilitate cross-border transactions. XRP, with its fast settlement times and low costs, could be the perfect solution for facilitating these transactions and helping the BRICS nations move toward a more decentralized financial system. Central banks in these countries are under pressure to move away from the US dollar as a reserve currency, and XRP's ability to facilitate cross-border transactions with minimal cost makes it a prime candidate to replace the dollar in international trade. The future of the global financial system could very well be decentralized, and Ripple may be at the center of that shift. Despite all the positive momentum surrounding XRP, there are still regulatory hurdles to overcome. While Ripple's technology has gained traction among banks and financial institutions, the regulatory landscape for digital assets remains uncertain. Governments around the world are still figuring out how to classify and regulate cryptocurrencies, and that means Ripple could face challenges as it continues to grow. In particular, the ongoing legal battle with the US SEC is still unresolved, and the outcome could have a significant impact on XRP's future. The future of Ripple, and by extension XRP, depends on how the regulatory landscape evolves. If the SEC's case against Ripple goes in its favor, it could unlock massive growth potential for the company. But if the outcome is unfavorable, it could set back Ripple's progress and slow down XRP's adoption globally. Investors and financial institutions alike are watching this case closely. Another challenge Ripple faces is the growing competition from stablecoins like USDC and XLM. These stablecoins are also designed to facilitate low-cost, fast transactions, and they have gained popularity in recent years. While XRP has its advantages, such as its speed and established network, it will need to maintain its lead in the race to dominate cross-border payments. As central banks and financial institutions continue to explore different options, Ripple will need to ensure it can stay ahead of the competition. Ripple isn't the only game in town. As stablecoins like USDC continue to grow in popularity, XRP will need to leverage its existing infrastructure and partnerships to maintain its dominance. But if Ripple can continue to innovate and build strong relationships with key financial institutions, it can keep its competitive edge. Looking ahead, what does the future hold for XRP? With major financial institutions like JP Morgan adopting Ripple's technology, it's clear that XRP is poised to play a crucial role in the future of cross-border payments. If Ripple can overcome regulatory challenges and continue to expand its network of partners, XRP could very well become the go-to digital asset for financial institutions worldwide. As more banks move away from SWIFT and embrace Ripple's blockchain, we could see XRP become the backbone of the global financial system. The future of XRP looks incredibly promising, with continued adoption by major financial institutions, global central banks, and an increasing interest in blockchain technology. XRP could be the next big thing in the world of finance. JP Morgan's $50 billion move is just the beginning of what could be a massive shift in the financial world. As more banks dump SWIFT and embrace Ripple's XRP for cross-border payments, we may be witnessing the start of a new era in global finance. Will XRP emerge as the dominant payment system of the future? Only time will tell, but it's clear that Ripple is making waves. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency and digital finance. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next